Hey everybody, Bill here coming at you with a design for a 3D printable mason bee house. Here's what it looks like. This 3D printable mason bee house is made from PLA plastic. That's polylactic acid. This is a type of plastic made from renewable plant resources like cornstarch or sugarcane. It's biodegradable, non-toxic, and is excellent for 3D printing and is available in a variety of colors. The files to print this mason bee house are available for free on Thingiverse. The link is available in the video description. The design for this mason bee house does require using paper inserts to make it easy to harvest and clean the mason bee cocoons. I recommend using baking parchment as it won't cause mold and is safe for the bees. The paper tubes are folded on the back and held in place by a back piece that closes off the tubes and keeps them from falling out. The number 76 on the back indicates that there are 76 tubes in this block. In the future, I may also upload designs for other sizes. There are a few different designs available for this block with or without patterns on the front face. For the patterns, I recommend changing the plastic color while printing to make them really stand out. The idea behind the patterns is to help the bees orient to the correct tube. While I was testing this design last year, I noticed that it would often take the bees several tries to find the right tube. So I'm hoping having some kind of markings will help them with orientation. These blocks are stackable and nest together nicely if you want to use more than one and put them in the same enclosure. I do recommend putting them inside some kind of covered box or gabled house to protect them from the rain and sunshine. These enclosures can be made very simply from scrap lumber. If you don't know much about mason bees, I recommend doing some additional research and studying. They are a solitary bee and nest in holes or tubes that measure approximately 5/16 of an inch. They're great pollinators and easy to care for. The materials you'll need to assemble this mason bee house are one 3D printed block of tubes, one 3D printed back, a roll of baking parchment paper, 4 number 8 by 3/4 inch panhead sheet metal screws. The parchment paper will need to be cut into rectangles measuring approximately 6.5 inches by 4 inches. These dimensions aren't critical, you'll just need to get close. You'll need some way to cut the parchment. I find it easiest to use a metal straight edge, a utility knife, and a cutting mat with a cutting grid. You'll also need a 1/4 inch wooden dowel cut to about 7 or 8 inches long. Parchment paper is a little slippery and can be annoying to work with. I find it easiest to begin by cutting 4-inch strips off the roll. Once I have a stack of these strips, I cut them into 6.5 inch lengths. It's not really easy to stack and cut the paper, so I just cut them out one at a time. It can be a little tedious if you have a lot to cut, so I listen to podcasts, or I put on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to pass the time. Once you've got all 76 papers cut, you'll take your 1/4 inch wooden dowel and begin rolling. Put the block of tubes with the front face down. The back of the block is the end with the screw holes in the corners. This faces up. Roll a piece of paper around the dowel and slide it into a tube until it hits bottom. About 1/2 inch of the paper tube should be sticking up out of the back of the block. Keep watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia while you do this for all of the tubes.
I'm sorry, Rumham! I'm sorry, Rumham! Oh, Rumham!
After all the tubes are filled, it's time to fold down the extra bit of each tube so you can attach the back. When folding down the tubes, you don't want to just smash them. It's more like a folding smash. Try not to let the tube lift up as you fold, but you don't have to be perfect here. We're just closing off the backs of the tubes and giving something for the back piece to clamp down on. When putting on the back, just screw it down until snug. Don't over tighten it. It won't go anywhere. Now it's ready for mason bees to use. The cocoons can be harvested at the end of the season, usually sometime in the autumn. Just remove the back and pull out the tubes. Unroll the tubes and inspect and clean off debris and any parasites that might have moved in. These cocoons can then be washed, dried, and stored in your refrigerator until next spring when the life cycle begins again.